I, 23 male, came home from work early to find my partner of 8 years, 24 female, sitting in our front room with a guy from her workplace with her legs put up on his lap. A little backstory. I'm in the armed forces and work away Monday to Friday. Last week I was given early weekend leave and traveled back home the Thursday night. I didn't inform my fiancée as it's not very often I get to come home and surprise her. Anyway, I got back to my house around 2100 and when I walked in I was greeted with what is described in the title, bearing in mind I had no idea that my partner had a guest over. There was no reaction from either of them as if I caught them in the middle of something. Just the casual, "Oh, hey babe. How are you home so early?" I was of course taken back by this guy just sitting there with my partner's legs on his lap just looking at me and I kind of just said, "What's going on?" It was at this point that the guy just stood up and said to my partner, "I think I'm gonna leave," which seemed pretty odd to me. I don't know if he felt intimidated by me being dubious and of my appearance, I'm quite a large guy, or if he felt like he had been caught. I was quite apprehensive and short with my partner afterward when I expressed my dislike of walking in to see her like that in our house with another guy. She assured me he is just a friend who brought her up some medicine for a cold, which he did and she does have a bad cold, and that she is just over-friendly and that I know how she is. I never had suspicions of her being unfaithful, so should I dig deeper into this or let it go as it's the first time I've ever had any suspicions? TLDR. Found my partner with her legs on some guy's lap when I came home early from work. He bolted and she seemed like it was fine because they're just friends. Edit 1. I've heard enough from the comments section to convince me I need to dig further. I will update shortly. Edit 2. Not the sort of juice this thread is probably looking for. I sat her down and we talked until I was satisfied that we covered everything. At one point in the conversation, she straight up offered me her phone, nothing suspicious at all on there. There were texts to her guy's mates but nothing I could relate to cheating, even from the guy in question. Looked on all the messaging platforms on her phone. I'm still pissed about her thinking it's okay to do things that would piss her off if roles were reversed, but there was no evidence that could confirm her being unfaithful. My wife confessed she cheated on me last night. What the hell do I do now? I feel so hopelessly alone and isolated right now, and I desperately want to talk to someone, so I am turning to you. I apologize if this is rambling. My wife, 34 female, and I, 34 male, have been married for 8 years, and together for 12. We have 2 young kids together, boy 6, girl 4. I am a lawyer, and my wife is a stay-at-home mom. She is a lawyer as well but has been home with the kids since our first kid was born. She is taking steps to start working again this year since both kids are now in school. Nearly all of our friends are couples that are parents of kids that go to school with our kids. All are well-educated/well-off professionals with steady lives. We went out last night for a 40th birthday party with 3 other couples. One couple we are very close with. We family vacation together, hang out with them multiple times a week, etc. They both work jobs that only require them to work 2-3 days a week. They are active and participate in triathlons. My wife, and now me, have joined them in doing triathlons. They have time to train daily based on their job schedules, and my wife typically joins them in training during her free time while the kids are at school. Typically 1-2 days with the wife, 1-2 days with the husband, and maybe 1-2 days all 3 during a given week. Back to the birthday party, everyone was drinking heavily. My wife and I drink quite a bit. The other couple drinks more than us. Around 1 a.m., I tell my wife and the group that I am going home because I am extremely tired/intoxicated. My wife tells me she is going to stay with everyone because she is having a good time. I didn't think this was a big deal. I took an Uber home and went to bed. I woke up in the morning and my wife never came home. She had apparently went to the other couple's house with them and crashed there around 3 a.m. For today, I had booked a spa day for her for Christmas that she was going to use today. I watched the kids all day, etc. She came home in the morning and everything seemed fine. She went to the spa but came home hours before I expected her back bawling in tears. My first thought was that she got in a car crash or someone in her family died. Instead, I'm told she kissed the other husband last night but has no memory of the event. Apparently, their babysitter fell asleep on their couch and heard my wife and the husband in the guest bedroom where my wife was apparently sleeping. The babysitter told the other wife she heard them in the bedroom, but the other wife did not ask for details. The wife told the husband, who in turn told my wife while she was at the spa. The husband apparently has no memory of the event either, but was of course certain it was just a quick innocent kiss that was a mistake. My wife is certain it was just a kiss but yet remembers zero details and has provided a couple of extremely minor but contradictory details of the event. I called the other wife to get her take. We were obviously both stunned and shocked. I got the babysitter's information because my wife couldn't tell me any details. If into the security recordings you go, only pain with you find. The babysitter told me she was half asleep but woke up a bit when they all came in. Later, she heard moaning, slapping, etc., and assumed it was the couple. One of their kids made a noise at some point and the babysitter got up and saw the other wife sleeping alone. She was extremely distressed and left in the middle of the night. She was certain it was more than kissing and they slept together. I hung up before getting any more details as I wanted to vomit. Now I have gaslighting to add to this mess. The idea that the babysitter could overhear kissing in a bedroom made no sense to me when I first heard it, and I told my wife I didn't understand/believe it. Talking to the babysitter of course confirmed what I initially expected, although she is still adamant they didn't sleep together. I think she is just hoping that to be the truth at this point. All the working out with another man did bother me on some base level, but I brushed that off as unwarranted jealousy. My wife's mom even made a comment to her at some point about how I felt about the situation. About a month ago, after another long night of drinking, she had her hand on his back at a bar because he looked like he was about to fall asleep, but right in front of all four of us. When we got home, I told her that I found it extremely disrespectful. We were both very intoxicated at the time. If you told me they have been carrying this on for months, I would believe you. The opportunity obviously exists. If you told me this was a one-time screw-up, I would believe that too. Gun to my head, I'd say there was a borderline emotional affair, with building sexual tension, and it culminated last night. My head is spinning right now with every horrible emotion you can think of. I want to call the babysitter again to get more details because I freaked out and hung up after a few seconds. I am in a very dark place right now. I trusted my wife completely. I thought the foundation of our marriage was completely unbreakable. I thought we both completely loved each other. I've always treated her as a princess and with the utmost dignity and respect. I thought our marriage was good. I did my best to be the best husband and father I could be. Most of our friends look to us as a perfect couple. Little do they know now. The biggest issue we've had in our relationship was I've told her over the course of the last couple years that our sex life has become routine and robotic to a certain degree. These issues existed before this other couple came on the scene. We still do it 1 to 2 times a week and it's always pretty good, although formulaic. I want more novelty/variety. She thought our sex life was incredible, so nothing really changed, although she said she would work on it. I assumed many guys go through this as their marriages go on, so I certainly didn't see it as an end. Is this all related? Probably, maybe. I have no idea. Does she secretly hate being a stay-at-home mom and this made her feel alive? I have no clue. My wife has profusely apologized all day. She cried all day. She says she loves me and our marriage. She has been extremely remorseful. She's saying the right things. Is she sorry it happened or that she got caught? Who knows? She says nothing caused her to do this, as was just a horrible mistake. We both know that something deep down caused her to do this, and being drunk is obviously no excuse. I told her she needs to quit drinking for a while, which she agreed. Her drinking has slowly increased for the last 3 months. She threw up after New Year's and the Super Bowl, which I haven't seen her do in many, many years. And now we have this. Probably all connected. She agreed to cut off all contact with the husband, which will be extremely tricky because of all the school issues. She says she would do marriage counseling if that's what I wanted. She says she will do anything to save our marriage. But she's adamant it was just a kiss, but yet doesn't know for sure/remember. Reddit, where do I go from here? My heart breaks for my kids. I feel like running as far away and never returning, but part of me wants to salvage it. I don't know what to do about the gaslighting. My head is spinning. The emotional toll and burden this has taken on me feel insurmountable. Like there is no way I can overcome it or get past it. A few months after cheating on me, my wife is now living in the guest bedroom and wants no physical contact with me. My wife went out with a group of girls for a night out, got drunk, and went home with someone else while I was home with the kids not knowing anything. She called a friend, stayed with her, and started talking about suicide, as she was no good for me. Her friend took her to the hospital and called me. When I got there, we decided she should be admitted into the psych ward to work out things, and I told her that I love her and want her well. A week later, I visited every day. She came home. We started going to counseling, but this is where she made it feel as I was the bad guy. She was saying that I had changed, but wouldn't give me examples. She would bring up things that happened years ago to back her story, when she slept with someone else just a couple weeks earlier. She acted as if my feelings didn't matter and that I had no right to be upset. She took off last weekend without saying anything to me. She texted me to say that she needed some time and space. When she arrived back home, she took stuff out of our bedroom and moved into the guest room, saying again that she needed time and space. I don't know what to do. I cried myself to sleep last night and she still won't tell me anything. Her responses are always, "I'm sorry that you..." I have been trying to communicate more as this was the root of the issue according to her, but she just withdraws. She avoids any and all contact with me. I haven't had a hug in over a week, let alone anything else, and it's killing me, but she doesn't seem to care. TL.DR. Wife cheated, things got better, and she has now decided that she doesn't love me. What can I do besides wait? My 32 male wife, 32 female, just confessed that she cheated on me a few days ago. Where do I go from here? Background. We live in a state in lockdown, therefore we have spent the majority of our time since March stuck at home. My wife and our son, 3, went to visit family for 2 weeks in a neighboring state since they have had no cases in their area and things are more or less normal. This would also give my wife a much needed break as the grandparents could watch the kiddo. While there, my wife was hanging out with an old family friend, 50 male, who told my wife he wanted her to enjoy her little vacation and free time and had a lot of activities planned for them. He would take her shopping, to the lake, out for dinner, pretty much all the stuff she loved doing but couldn't do to lockdown/no babysitter. I was aware they were doing this but wasn't concerned due to the long friendship and trust of the friend, as well as with my wife. Honestly, she needed a break and this seemed like it would help her a lot. One night after drinking at his house they ended up sleeping together. My wife told me that while there was PIV, after only a little bit she realized that what she was doing was wrong and stopped it. No one finished. However, there was an earlier incident where he ended up giving her oral to completion. My wife just came home today and once the kiddo was asleep she confessed all of the above to me. I'm shocked, betrayed, all the feelings that a cheated on person can feel. I'm angry at my wife, angry at my friend, despaired because now I don't know what's going to happen with my family. One second I want to get a divorce because I feel betrayed, the next I want to fix things and save my family. To compound my feelings, my wife is partially blaming me for what happened. Saying that if I treated her better and showered her with attention like our ex-friend, then she would never have been attracted to him. I'll admit that our marriage has been rocky for a while and that she is right that I haven't been very affectionate with her as I should, but her actions just take it to a whole different level and really can't be compared. What do I do? Where do I go from here? My first suggestion I said to my wife is that we should get marriage counseling, but she said she didn't need it. She's fully aware of what she did and doesn't need someone to explain to her why she did what she did. She did say that she wants to fix our marriage, and I do think she feels bad for what she did, but at the same time, It seems that she thinks her confession was the only step to reconciliation that she needed to make. I want things to work, at the very least for our son, but everything is so raw and fresh I don't know what to do. Tomorrow I'll look into counseling for myself to help work through my feelings, but I figure why not ask a bunch of internet strangers for advice. Best case, someone says something that really helps. Worst case, I ignore everyone, delete this account, and continue with life. So Reddit, what advice do you have for a cheated on husband and father? Edit. I appreciate all the advice, but I realize that things are much too raw to process anything right now. It hasn't even been 24 hours since I found out. I'm going to take a break from Reddit and take some time to sort through everything. Once the dust settles I'll come back and read everything that's been said, but for now I'm taking a time out.